What's going on, traders? Welcome back to your morning watch list here today. What we're going to be covering is the United States dollar. We'll take a look at the S&P 500, and then we'll also run you guys through a couple other stocks here on the day just to keep your eyes on for the time being. So right now, if you take a look at the dollar is bouncing currently this morning, but overnight we had a really big decline. So this is what we look like on the daily chart. We look pretty bearish. We put in a bottom not too long ago on the dollar, but if this bottom gives out, we should really see a very negative bearish move swing down on the dollar. And what that should ultimately do is cause gold and silver to continue higher, probably same as Bitcoin. So what I want to do now is show you guys the weekly chart on the dollar. If you look at this weekly chart, you can see that if we stay where we're at or continue slightly lower on the dollar, we will have what's called a weekly bearish engulfing candle, where the last week of the dollar was green, this week we're red, and what that causes is a bearish engulfing candle, which ultimately is a bearish sign. What we now have on silver is it going up. So I bought the dip on silver just a couple days ago. As you guys know, I put in $40,000 into SLV. I've already owned SLV for about 3 years now. I've been buying SLV since, let me show you guys. I was buying SLV back in this dip here, bought more in this dip, and then I even added some up here because ultimately I think we're still going higher on the precious metals. So today you have seen gold and silver run pretty big, and that's partially and or mostly due to the fact that dollar has declined so much. So if we keep going on this path, I think we're going to see gold back up to close to 2,000 an ounce and silver back up towards, I think, like 24 or 25 maybe. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think we'll see silver back up more towards, about 25 to 26 if this trend kind of continues and we go for the statistical mean, which is back around the $25 mark. This morning, KXIN is in play. I've been an active short on it so far. I'm getting squeezed up a little bit here on this move. Ultimately, I think that KXIN throughout the day is going to become a short move. Nonetheless, I don't think it's going to be a very big, long day for the stock. Now, I could be wrong. Whenever we get situations like this where we have a stock go parabolic and then they crash, they usually have a bounce day. And so we're on the bounce day. But this bounce day usually ends up getting sold into, or it doesn't bounce forever like we've seen this move. So I'm anticipating that we're going to see KXIN ultimately run into sort of a downward sell-off today. Also with the possibility of it going up to as high as 590. 590 was kind of the ultimate price target on the day I thought we could reach. 590 is also within the intraday channel. So it's very possible we could see a 590 move on KXIN. And if in the event we went up to 590, I would be extremely short bias up at that price point. So overall, I'm going to be watching KXIN today, mainly short bias. Next stock, APVO. APVO pretty much went supernova yesterday, ran from 9 all the way to 19, a $10 move. Today we think that APVO is going to be a bearish stock. It's going to sell off. You could anticipate that there's going to be a long move to maybe start the day, but ultimately we're thinking that the stock is going to sell off bearishly today. So we're not going to be trading long bias on APVO unless the setup is there or it's right. But for now, the support that APVO needs to stay above is 1461. If in the event we break through 461, you should see sort of a sell-off candle where people will get stopped out. A couple earnings announcements to probably pay attention to for some volatility are QCOM. Again, they had about a 20-point increase or a $20 earnings report move to the upside. That sort of move can create volatility where you can get good shorts, good longs. So keep an eye on QCOM today. Secondly, we have BABA. BABA reported earnings. Stock is tanking just shortly after China or was it Beijing? I think it was Beijing stopped their IPO of Ant Group, which then caused this drop. Then they went to an earnings, caused this drop. So right now we're kind of on the fence with BABA, but we do know BABA has to break 283. This dotted line you can see there, we got to go through 283 to suggest that BABA is going to have more bearish moves to the downside. So for right now, we are looking at BABA as pretty much an on-the-fence trader right now. We really don't care to be too short biased because we're already down so far on the day. So we were also thinking we'll start with the bounce before we try to do some sort of bearish move. So a couple picks: KXIN on the day, QCOM, BABA, and then APVO. APVO more bearish, KXIN ultimately bearish, BABA and QCM as the watchers. All right, and then hopefully gold and silver continue to run as they have been. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys on the next one.